Welcome to Book Bites Guru, where we chew on the complex world of finance so you don't have to. Today, we're diving deep into a modern classic that might just change your financial life. The Behavior Gap by Carl Richards. But before we unpack these lessons, a quick request. Many of you watch our videos without subscribing. If you find value in our content, please like, follow, and subscribe. It truly helps us keep these insights coming. So, The Behavior Gap. Published in 2012, this isn't your typical finance book stuffed with complex formulas or hot stock tips. It's a refreshingly human guide to why we do dumb things with our money. The author, Carl Richards, is a certified financial planner and the famous sketch guy from the New York Times. He's known for using simple napkin sketches to explain complicated financial truths. Richards' core premise is simple but profound. The behavior gap is the distance between what we should do with our money, the math, and what we actually do. This gap isn't because we aren't smart. It's because we're human. Fear, greed, and overconfidence lead us to make emotional decisions at the worst possible times. We sell low when the market crashes because we're scared, and we buy high during a bubble because we're greedy. We let emotions hijack our financial future. As Richard says, we don't need more information. We need to do a better job implementing what we already know. It's about behavior, not just knowledge. Let's start with the first major lesson: simplicity over complexity. In the financial world, we are often led to believe that complex problems require complex solutions. But Richards argues that complexity often just leads to confusion and inaction. We freeze up. We obsess over the perfect asset allocation or the best stock. His mantra is powerful. We don't need a better answer. We need a better question. Instead of asking, "What's the market doing?" we should ask, "What is this money for?" Ask yourself, what kind of life do I want? When you focus on your values rather than market returns in a vacuum, the decisions become clearer. This leads us to the second key insight: emotions drive financial decisions. The book is filled with stories of how our brains trick us. Take recency bias. This is when we believe that whatever has happened recently will continue forever. If the market is up, we think it will never go down. Or loss aversion. We feel the pain of a $1,000 loss twice as intensely as the joy of a $1,000 gain. This fear makes us play it too safe or sell at the bottom. Richards emphasizes that market timing is largely a myth. What matters is time in the market, staying the course, not trying to outsmart it. So, for this first part of our journey into the behavior gap, remember, it's about bridging the gap between knowledge and action and keeping it simple. In the next video, we will explore the role of a financial advisor, not as a guru, but as a behavior coach, and why accepting uncertainty is your superpower. Don't miss the rest of this series. Subscribe to Book Bites Guru now. Hit that like button, and let's build wealth through wisdom together. See you in the next part. Welcome back to our deep dive into the behavior gap. In part 1, we define the gap. Now, in part 2, we explore the solution, true guidance, and the power of uncertainty. Let's be honest, we all want a guru. We want someone to look us in the eye and say, "I know what the market will do next." It feels safe. It feels certain. But Richards warns us, this desire for certainty is a trap. Financial pundits are wrong about as often as a coin flip. Paying for predictions is like paying for a horoscope. So, if an advisor can't predict the future, what are you paying them for? You're paying them to be a lighthouse, to stand firm when you are panicking in the storm. Richards calls this being a behavior coach. Their job isn't to beat the market. Their job is to prevent you from making the one big mistake that ruins your plan. It's not about getting an extra 1% return. It's about not selling everything in 2008 because you were scared. That one decision matters more than years of investment strategy. This shifts the focus from predicting to planning. Prediction is guessing. Planning is preparing. A plan is a living thing that adapts when life happens. Imagine two circles. One circle contains all the things that matter. The other contains all the things you can control. You should only focus on where they overlap. The economy matters, but you can't control it. Your neighbor's returns might matter to your ego, but you can't control them. Spending energy there is waste. What's in the overlap? How much you save, how you react to news, your asset allocation. This is where your attention belongs. Here is a practical tool Richard suggests, the overnight test. If you are worried about an investment, ask yourself, if I sold this today, would I buy it back tomorrow? If the answer is no, then why do you own it? This helps clear out the emotional baggage of past decisions and sunk costs. Start fresh. Now, let's tackle the hardest lesson, accepting uncertainty. We are wired to hate not knowing, but the future is unknowable. We try to fight this with information. We watch the news, check apps, read forecasts. We think more information equals more control. It's an illusion. Remember, the financial media is not there to help you make money. They are there to sell ads. Fear sells. Panic sells. Buy and hold is boring TV. So, go on an information diet. Stop watching the daily market moves. If your plan is solid, today's headline shouldn't change it. As Richard says, risk is what's left over when you think you've thought of everything. Real risk is the thing you never saw coming. You can't predict the specific disaster, but you can build resilience. You can have an emergency fund. You can be diversified. That is true safety. To wrap up part 2, fire your inner guru. Focus on the overlap of what matters and what you control. Use the overnight test and ignore the noise. In part 3, we get to the heart of it all. Values. Why are we doing this? We'll ask the question, what is this money really for? Stay tuned. Subscribe to Book Bites Guru so you don't miss the next lesson. Like this video if it helped you close your behavior gap today. Welcome back to Book Bites Guru. We've talked about the behavior gap and the illusion of control. Now, in part 3, we asked the most important question of all, the question that changes everything. Most of us start investing by asking, what's the best stock? Or how can I get rich quick? We obsess over returns. We treat money as a game to be won, but that is the wrong place to start. Carl Richards suggests a radical shift. Before you buy a single stock, you need to ask, what is this money for? Pause. Really ask it. What is the purpose of your wealth? Is it for freedom? Is it to educate your children? Is it to feel safe? Is it to start a business? Money is not the goal. Money is fuel for the life you want to live. Richards advocates for the one-page financial plan. It doesn't need to be a 50-page binder. It just needs to link your money to your deepest values. When the why is clear, the how is easy. Now, you might say, but I don't know what I want in 20 years. That's okay. Richards has a liberating concept. Goals are guesses. You are just guessing what your future self wants. Because goals are guesses, hold them loosely. Don't be rigid. As you grow, your values might shift. Your plan should be flexible enough to shift with you. It's a compass, not a railroad track. One of the biggest enemies of values-based planning is keeping up with the Joneses. We spend money we don't have to buy things we don't need to impress people we don't like. Social media makes this worse. We see everyone's highlight reels and feel inadequate. We upgrade our car or house not because we value it, but because we think we should. That's the foundation. We've defined our values. But what happens when our spending doesn't match? In part 3B, coming up next, we'll tackle the lifestyle gap and how to find enough. Welcome back to part 3B. We know what we value. Now let's see if our wallet agrees. This is where we close the lifestyle gap. This creates a different kind of behavior gap, the gap between what you say you value and how you actually spend. If you value family time, but spend all your money on a luxury car that forces you to work overtime, there's a gap. Try this audit. Look at your last 3 months of spending. Does it reflect your values? If security is your top value, are you saving? If health is your value, are you investing in quality food? The beauty of this approach is permission to spend. Once you know what matters, you can spend extravagantly on those things without guilt, and cut ruthlessly on the things that don't matter. People argue about the latte factor. Should you buy that $5 coffee? Richard says, if coffee with a friend brings you joy and connection, it is the best investment you can make. Buy the latte. But if a giant house makes you house poor and stressed, it's a bad investment, even if the real estate market goes up. It violates the value of peace of mind. This is called financial life planning. It merges your biography with your biology. It treats you as a whole person, not a calculator. It aligns your capital with your purpose. Don't wait until you are rich to ask these questions. You can start aligning your money today. You can buy back your time. You can invest in experiences. Richards introduces the concept of sufficiency. How much is enough? When do you stop chasing more and start enjoying enough? That is the ultimate financial freedom. Enough doesn't mean settling for less. It means knowing the point where more money won't add more happiness. It's the point of diminishing returns. Find your enough. Here is your action step for part 3. Write down your top 3 values. Not financial goals, but life values. Then, look at your bank statement. Do they match? If they don't match, don't beat yourself up. Just start adjusting. Close the gap between your wallet and your heart. That is where true wealth begins. To summarize, ask what is this money for? Goals or guesses? So stay flexible, ignore the Joneses, and find your enough. Money serves you, not the other way around. In the final video, part 4, we will bring it all together. We'll recap every lesson, give you a final checklist, and send you off with a challenge to read the full book. We are almost at the end of this journey. You don't want to miss the wrap-up. Subscribe, like, and share this video with someone who needs to hear it. See you in the finale. Welcome to the finale of our series on the behavior gap. We've explored the gap, the coach, and the values. Now, let's put the puzzle pieces together. Remember the gap? That distance between investment returns and investor returns. We learned that we are the problem. Our fear and greed widen that gap every day. We learned that simplicity is our shield. In a world of complex financial products and noisy news, keeping it simple is an act of rebellion. It protects us. We embraced uncertainty. We admitted we can't predict the future. This wasn't weakness, it was strength. It freed us from the anxiety of trying to be a guru. And finally, we found our compass, values. What is this money for? This question turned money from a scorecard into a tool for a meaningful life. Here is the unified theory. You cannot close the behavior gap without values. If you don't know why you are investing, you will panic when the market drops. Values give you the reason to stay the course. It's always a tug of war. Emotion versus logic. Carl Richards teaches us that we can't eliminate emotion. We are human, but we can manage it. We can build systems to save us from ourselves. Complexity is the enemy of execution. If your plan is too hard to understand, you won't follow it when stress hits. A simple plan you follow is infinitely better than a perfect plan you quit. Simplicity brings freedom. It gives you permission to ignore the hot stock tip at the barbecue. It lets you sleep at night knowing you have enough. Ultimately, the behavior gap teaches us that the solution isn't in the market. It's in the mirror. You have the power to close the gap. You control the one thing that matters most, your behavior. But understanding this philosophy is only the first step. Knowledge without action is just trivia. We need to put this into practice immediately. In the final segment, part 4B, I'm giving you a 7-day action plan, a step-by-step challenge to transform your financial life in 1 week. You don't want to miss this. Welcome to the final chapter. We have the philosophy. Now we need the practice. Here is your 7-day behavior gap challenge. Day 1, the reality check. Print your last 3 bank statements. Highlight every purchase that didn't bring you joy or align with your values. No judgment, just awareness. Day 2, define your why. Write down your top 3 life values. Freedom, family, creativity. Put this list in your wallet next to your credit card. Day 3, the information diet. Unsubscribe from 1 financial newsletter. Delete 1 market tracking app. Reclaiming your attention is the first step to reclaiming your behavior. Day 4, the overnight test. Pick 1 investment or possession you are unsure about. Ask, if I didn't own this, would I buy it today? If no, make a plan to sell it. Day 5, the 1-page plan. Draft your financial plan on a single sheet of paper. Where are you now? Where do you want to go? And why? Keep it simple. Day 6, the money date. Have an open, non-judgmental conversation about money with your partner or a trusted friend. Talk about dreams, not just debts. Day 7, rest and reflect. Do nothing financial today. Enjoy the enough you already have. Go for a walk. Read a book. Realize that the best things in life really are free. This series has been a deep dive, but I still highly recommend reading the actual book. Carl Richards' sketches are brilliant, and his tone is empathetic and kind. It's a quick, life-changing read. Our verdict? 5 out of 5 stars. It's essential reading for anyone who uses money. It's not about math, it's about being human. Remember, the real win isn't beating the market. It's sleeping well at night. It's knowing your money serves your life, not the other way around. Thank you for joining us on this journey. At Book Bites Guru, our mission is to help you build wealth and freedom through wisdom. We hope this series has served that mission. Please subscribe, like, and share this series with a friend who needs it. Your support allows us to keep creating content like this. Stay wise, and see you in the next book.